West Conference. Brisbilla and O'Neal hug at center court. Brisbilla, very physical guy, and he will not back off from Shaquille. We'll get to see Greg Oden, who did not play back on November 1st after getting hurt in the first game of the year. Everybody anxious to see him develop. And the Suns have won 10 straight games against this Blazers team. And they would like to continue that streak tonight. Longest active win streak versus any opponent. O'Neal against Brisbilla. Brisbilla had a double-double last night in the win over the Kings, and here comes Steve Nash. Phoenix Suns broadcasts are made available in high definition by Verizon Wireless. Call your cable or satellite provider for HD information. Try to get it in low to Shaq, brings it out to Matt Barnes. Barnes dumps it back in. Inside game, Shaq with a little jump hook.
That's where the Suns have been really starting every ball game with the big fella down low. One thing he does really good against Brisbilla is sealing him low, close to the basket, throwing short hook shots.
Steve Blake had 6 threes last night in that win over Sacramento. Into the corner goes Brandon Roy, one of the best young players in the league. Brisbilla broken up by Stoudemire. He comes up with a steal to Nash. Raja Bell decides not to take it in, brings it out. Shaq gets into the offensive end. The Suns trying to figure out their rhythm. How to run with Shaquille O'Neal in the game. How to go to their half-court game, and we've got a traveling call on the Suns.
Familiar theme for the Phoenix Suns. Turnovers, unforced turnovers, have really plagued this team. Second in the NBA behind Boston Celtics, 16.6 turnovers per ball game. Problem is, they only turn the other team over 16.5 times.
Well, that's what Terry Porter's most concerned about. He says we've got to take a long look at our turnovers. Blake outside. He's the guy who rejoined the Blazers his second stint a season ago. Brandon Roy, he is deadly from everywhere. Rebound by Shaq, had inside position. Steve Nash, his numbers down, still trying to figure all this out. This new era under Terry Porter. That ball deflected out with 16 to shoot. This team is a team that is still, you got to understand, 8-5. It's early in the year, Scott, for everybody to get all worked up about how they're going to play.
Yeah, not a month into the season with the new Terry Porter era. So, 8-5, that's a pretty good record in the Western Conference. I think they'd probably be pretty happy with that. Also, they've had some disappointing losses that kind of sour them a little bit.
And there's Amari finishing. Only Boston, Cleveland, and the Lakers have more wins than the Suns at this stage of the season. So Stoudemire gives the Suns a 4-0 lead. Amari averaging 26.7 in the last 3 games, shooting 54%. In it comes now to LaMarcus Aldridge, one of the fine young players to lead out of Texas. Tried to go inside, hands up, and deflected out as Batum tried to take it to the hole. Batum, a rookie out of France, who came over to trade from Houston. And there's Nate McMillan, part of that Mike Krzyzewski coaching brain trust that won the gold in Beijing. And it comes now quickly to Batum. And again, Amari with good defense. Got a hand on it. 16 on the shot clock. Aldridge will bring it out to Steve Blake, who played on that NCAA championship team at Maryland. Out it comes to Aldridge. Aldridge ducks in, brings it into the corner. Shot underway by Roy. Not there. Brisbilla with the rebound. Brisbilla had 10 rebounds last night. Thus far, 0 for 4. Now 0 for 5 as Shaq got a piece of that one.
Wow, block pretty early here in the first quarter. Suns swarming to the basketball.
And Amari is going to be called for the charge. Stoudemire caught kind of in between with that pass.
Yeah, Curtis Blair saying it kind of caught Amari surprised. Curtis Blair saying it. The man was stationary. Amari's trying to realize that look at this block on Shaquille O'Neal. First of all, nice block and then a good outlet and like that fast break, something we haven't seen too much of in recent games.
In the early going, you could tell that Shaquille O'Neal's presence on the floor has altered some play. Aldridge already has not taken the ball in on a couple of occasions. He'll go outside and hit there.
Yeah, he's always been able to shoot the ball since his rookie year. He's added a post-up game this season. He's added some bulk and muscle to his frame.
He is really playing well, and he had 19 points last night in the win over Sacramento. Only one player for the Blazers played over 30 minutes as they coasted to the win over the beaten-up Kings. There's Shaq. Can't get it. Tipped outside now to Blake. Steve Blake, a very, very solid, underappreciated player. Off it comes now to Aldridge. Aldridge trying to make his move on Amari. Goes up, can't get it. Amari with good defense.
Well, that's what I like. Amari not trying to block a shot. He was out of position. Again, play solid defense. Guys won't make them all.
I tell you, Amari's made 3 good defensive plays here early in the game. Nice with a 2. His foot was on the line. And I'd love to see him get more involved. He took only 9 shots in the game Thursday night. Here's Blake going inside. Nash picking him up out to Aldridge. Aldridge swings it out to Brandon Roy, the Rookie of the Year, and then in his first All-Star game, we're going to have a defensive 3-second call on Stoudemire. A technical that'll send the Blazers to the free throw line.
Yeah, Amari trying to hedge over that time. Got caught with his feet in the lane a little bit too long. But look at Steve Nash. You give him just a 1.5 feet of room, and he'll size up that rim, and he's going to knock it down. Shoot 42% from the land of 3 this year.
Here's Blake, a 94% free throw shooter. We talked about they're the #1 3-point shooting team. They're 14th in the league in free throw percentage, but they have a couple of guys in the starting lineup shooting in the 90 percentile.
Yeah, Fernandez, kid from Spain, he's fantastic free throw shooter as well, leading all rookies in the NBA free throw shooting.
There's Blake, kind of a herky-jerky shot, but it goes down.
He's been on fire from the field.
6 out of 10 behind the line last night. Blake had a 20-point game. Here's Barnes trying to go inside against Batum. Is very long defensively. Into Shaq, deflected by Prisbilla. There's Prisbilla at his best. He is an ornery customer inside. And look at that by Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, the big cactus nearly brought the roof down with him. He came from the 12th floor to slam that ball down on the 10th.
How impressive was that? I was just talking about Prisbilla rejecting something, and all of a sudden, he just lowered the boom.
Oh, felt like Big Shamu, and the splash zone with so much thunder, he came crashing down.
That got the crowd on their feet. And there is Blake again. He's trying to see if he's as hot as he was last night. Blake now moving in, kicks it outside. A long shot by Batum. Now, Batum's not scoring now. It's only 5 points a game. He's more of a defensive player.
No, but he can shoot the ball with range. He only had 1 fake field goal last night, but it was a 3-point shot.
And so now it's 8-8, 7-11 to go here in this first quarter. Nash in the corner. Blake comes out on him. And hitting the floor is Amari. No whistle. Out it comes now to Roger Bell. Gets a screen from Nash. 4 on the shot clock. Not there. Shaq tries to save it, but he saves it to the wrong guys.
Well, I thought Shaq was going to go crossing into the expensive seats there and take out the entire row.
Did you see that flinching going on over there? They were bracing for it. Batum again. And the guy from France can't connect this time, and Shaq comes down to the rebound. Shaq already with 5 rebounds in this game. Nash brings it out. 6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Good ball movement. Off to Nash. Nash kicks it into the corner to Barnes. Barnes. And, you know, you wonder how that back bothered that shot. As there's Shaq cleaning up inside. They can, right now, not keep the big cactus from doing some damage. 6 points and 6 rebounds.
And he's doing it all close to the basket, where he's been doing it for 16 years in a row.
He's still a dominant big man inside. That shot by Aldridge doesn't find the mark. It's off the Blazers. Suns will have it. The Suns trying to break a 2-game losing streak. They're trying to reestablish home court. They're only 3-3 in the Purple Palace thus far. Here's Barnes, little jump hook again. He wanted a call, didn't get it. Aldridge comes down to the rebound off to Brandon Roy. Roy, the 3rd-year man out of the University of Washington. This guy is a complete player. He can do it all. Rebound inside for Prisbilla. Boy, Prisbilla is really having a big night rebounding, as this time Roy connects on the 3. Prisbilla has 5 rebounds.
Yeah, 3 on the offensive end, and that one there, obviously the kick out, once that defense collapsed, you throw it back outside, he knocks down a clean look from 3-point range.
So the leading percentage 3-point team in the league's hit 2 of 4. That goes off of Matt Barnes. And it'll go over to Portland. We've got a timeout, but let's go back to the highlight of this game thus far. A team that many people feel is the rising team in the West, and they have not made the playoffs in a long, long time. They made it 21 straight years, and they missed the playoffs for the 5th straight season, but things are changing in the Rose City.
Kevin Pritchard's done a really nice job of putting some young talent together that really enjoys playing with one another. And that's the biggest thing. Chemistry sometimes can create victories when you're out there on the floor fighting hard together.
Travis Outlaw's checked into the ball game. We're waiting the entry of Greg Oden, the first pick in the draft a year ago. When he will come in, I'm sure there'll be a buzz. Outlaw, who's really matured, has become a very solid sixth man coming off the bench. Nice picked up by Blake. 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Portland with their only lead of the game thus far. And Stoudemire trying to change that. Prisbilla comes down to the rebound. Prisbilla is a big 7'1", 250-pounder inside, averaging 8 rebounds a game, 25th in the league.
Yeah, he's shooting 84% over his last 10 ball games. He doesn't do anything that Coach Nate McMillan has he's comfortable with him doing on the floor.
And he's already coming to this game, picked up 5 rebounds. He's hit his last 10 shots coming into the game tonight at 83+% for the season. And Barnes trying to break up the floor. That was some self-tackleization there as he went down. Another turnover against the Suns. That's already 5 against Phoenix.
Looked like their feet got intertangled there, and the referee was looking for body contact, but it was really the feet that got all discombobulated.
All right, Roy outside now at the 4:26 mark. You can see those turnovers starting already to pile up for the Suns. Here's Outlaw, couldn't get the shot off. 8 on the shot clock. John Singleton getting ready to come in for the Suns, and the Blazers throw it away.
Now that's just good defense right there. Would not let them get their screen roll game going on that position. Everyone's swarming through the basketball. Shaq coming over and clogging up that middle and not allowing any penetration.
Here's the rookie now at the University of Virginia, Sean Singletary, talking to Terry Porter. He says he and Gore and Dragic are even right now, but he's just going to go segments at a time. He'll play Sean tonight, maybe a couple more games, and then Gore will get his opportunity as they battle for that backup role to Steve Nash. And now Danny Crawford is indicating a 3-second defensive technical, but Terry Porter and the bench are helping officiate on that one.
Yeah, I think Terry and Dan and the rest of the coaching staff over there right in Danny Crawford's ear barking that the guy on the weak side was illegal, and he didn't get the whistle as quick as he would have liked.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA and your Phoenix Suns. Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees, and Amari hits the technical, and here he comes, Greg Oden. Out of Ohio State, the #1 pick in the draft a year ago, then was out the entire season with microfracture surgery of his right knee, opens the season, sprains his right foot. He was out for 6 games, but he's come back and he's impacting the league.
Yeah, I really hope this young fella can stay healthy because he's got a tremendous amount of defensive ability right now. His offensive game will continue to improve.
Beautiful pass by Boris Diaw, setting up Singletary.
Well, we talked about Boris Diaw being aggressive, but one thing he's never lost is his eye to be able to see the floor extremely well and pass off to open guys.
Suns up by 2, 13-11. Dan Marley has taken Boris Diaw on as kind of a personal project. They've got him much more aggressive. They want him to be more selfish with the basketball. Here's Outlaw from outside, and Outlaw, who is averaging over 11 points a game, had 15 last night. We're tied at 13.
Second leading scorer off that Portland Trail Blazers bench. He used to be just a post-up player, but now he's out of that outside shot. Shoots tremendous percentage from three-point range.
Boy, he can lead. He has great hops. Singletary with Oden on it, and can't get the bounce. Deflected out, it'll be Suns ball.
Yeah, credit Amari Stoudemire with that rebound. Even though he didn't come up with it, he put so much pressure on that Blazers player there to try to get that ball. He couldn't handle it cleanly.
I think Singletary was surprised that Oden came out on him when he was starting to shoot the ball, and he altered his shot. And that will happen to those big guys in there.
That's right. When they don't block it, they alter them.
There's Barnes with a 3, and not able to get it. Oden comes down with the Suns still looking for their first 3 of the night. Blake into the other end. Blake in his 6th year, 28 years old, a savvy veteran point guard. Rudy Fernandez is checked in. Outlaw hit the side of the basket.
I just start bragging on him, and he shoots a brick.
Stoudemire brings it out to Roger Bell. Bell knows that the big guys are inside, so they kick it back out. Matt Barnes backing in. 2:30 to go here in the first quarter. Amari, yes! And he took it over Outlaw.
Wow, we talked about Outlaw's jumping ability, but not in Amari Stoudemire's house.
I tell you, Stoudemire's off to a sensational start in this game. He has impacted the game on both ends of the floor. Inside goes Oden. Well, this guy is smooth. He is a young guy, 19 years old. He looks like he's 35. He's like LeBron James, but he is going to be a force in this league. Diao comes out now, trying to orchestrate it. He's going to shoot it instead, and that's what they want. Look for your shot. He can play with anybody when he's aggressive like that.
Yeah, per 48 minutes, his numbers right back to where they were when he was the most improved player of the year without Shaquille O'Neal and Amari Stoudemire.
So Stoudemire has impacted the game. The crowd with tickets today, and check for the winning numbers at ArizonaLottery.com. Time now for the Powerball jackpot numbers. The Suns have never had the first pick in the draft, but believe it or not, the Blazers have had 4. Lou Martin in 72, Bill Walton, everybody remembers him in 74, Michael Thompson in 78, and then Oden last year, 2007.
Yeah, Walton and Thompson, fantastic careers. Martin never really panned out, and I think Ray Oden, he can stay healthy, will be one of the best on that list.
Well, the interesting thing about Bill Walton, he then took the Blazers to the 1977 NBA championship with Maurice Lucas, who was the enforcer inside, Bobby Gross, Lionel Hollins, who everybody remembers from Arizona State, and Dave Twardzik, the pinball. He used to bounce around out there, and Jack Ramsey was the head coach as the Blazers won their only NBA championship. Here we go, a minute 51 left. Sergio Rodriguez has checked into the ball game. This is he. He's picked up by Singletary. Off to Rudy Fernandez, who's been a rookie. I mean, a rookie who everybody's talking about. Here's Stoudemire. He threw it away, and in a little haste that time, the Suns turn it over for the 6th time. And Grant Hill now will come to the lineup for Phoenix, replacing Matt Barnes.
I'm sorry, Gary. That's the thing that really has Coach Terry Porter upset, is the unforced error. He had an opportunity for either a nice break or slow down and execute your offense. You just simply have the wrong guy handling the ball, and you turn the basketball over.
Speaking of handling the ball, this guy can handle it, Rodriguez. They called him the Spanish magician. Fernandez tries one from the corner. Grant Hill comes in and impacts the game instantly with the rebound. Talking to Terry Porter, he said, we'll continue to start Matt Barnes, but I continually look at that, whether or not Grant Hill should come back as a starter as the season wears on. Stoudemire not there, but Boris Diaw with a left-handed tip.
That drive from left to right brought all those Blazers defenders over, left Boris Diaw on the weak side to the glass and the cleanup.
Rodriguez now trying to set it up. Also, Channing Frye is coming to the ball game. Here's Oden. And Mari trying to punch the ball out, and Oden traveled with it. Mari really, I think, affected him was he punched that ball momentarily away from Oden.
Well, Oden's got limited offensive moves down there, and unlike somebody like Tim Duncan, everybody knows he wants to go to that left shoulder turn, right-hand hook, and Amari just took that away.
So Amari now against Oden at the other end. He's going to challenge the rookie, and that will be a foul on Oden. Now, Oden, even though he's in his 2nd year, didn't play last year, so he still is a designated rookie in the NBA.
And that's what you have to do against a great shot blocker like a Greg Oden, is take the ball right to his chest. As soon as you start fading away a little bit, give him that space to come and time your shot, he will block it.
So Stoudemire going to the line, shooting 83% thus far. And we want to take a nice look here at Terry Porter. He's looking sharp tonight in his clothes from the Clother at Biltmore Fashion Park, 24th Street and Camelback. Tell you what, he could have a modeling job, couldn't he, Scott, if he decided not to coach anymore?
Well, the clothes look good.
Right now, biggest lead of the game for the Suns, 21-15. Outlaw into Oden, and ripped away by Amari. And then Channing Frye reloads, but how about Stoudemire?
Amari is going after every block shot he can possibly get. And I like that. Don't let that big fella get himself going with a dunk. Make him work hard to get something from the line if he's going to get an easy block.
Singletary trying to set up Diaw. You can see 4 blocks in the game for the Suns, and Amari has led the way. Here's Diaw challenging Channing Frye, the former Arizona Wildcat, deflected out. 2.6 seconds left in the quarter.
And the St. Mary's High School probably did a nice job on Diaw down there on the block that time. Didn't go for Diaw's pump fake.
This Blazers team has 2 players from St. Mary's. We'll see Jared Bayless before the night is over. And no call. The Suns thought Amari was fouled at the buzzer, but there's no whistle, and we come to the end of the first. The Suns won the first, and tonight trying to avoid a 3-game losing streak. Give the gift of a destination. Give the Southwest gift card, available at southwest.com. Sergio Rodriguez comes into the offensive end, gets it to Oden, and that was too easy. Way too easy. And Amari feeling that Oden kicked his foot up in his face that time as he finished the dunk.
Yeah, he's not going to like that at all, but you got to get somebody to rotate down. If Amari rotates out to the basketball, someone's got to get in front of Greg Oden. Rodriguez is the second leading assist man off the bench for this Blazers team.
There's Amari's spin move, runs into Oden, and Oden's got a jump ball. So these two guys really going after each other. Now watch what I was talking about, the end of this dunk by Greg Oden.
Yeah, now this is the explosion and the power in which Shaquille O'Neal used to get up. One of Shaq's signature moves, that little right foot comes out and kind of catches Amari in the chest. He's not too pleased with that.
These two guys right now, there's some emotion between Oden and Amari. We talked about Shaq and Oden, but Amari right now going against this guy who played 1 year at Ohio State, losing to the Florida Gators in the NCAA championship game. Roger Bell not able to get it to go. 21-19 Suns. This Blazers team is 4-5 on the road, but they won last night. It's a team that has had so many road games early against some of the best teams in the NBA, so their record is really quite impressive. There's Outlaw, gets a bounce twice. Amari sticks with it, and Rodriguez comes up with a rebound. Sergio Rodriguez, third-year man, a former first-round pick of the Suns, traded over for cash considerations. Out it comes out of Channing Frye, and Frye not able to get it. Nash comes up with a rebound. Nash ahead to Grant Hill, deflected out by Channing Frye. Suns will get it with 19 to shoot.
And that's the way the Suns want to get out on the floor. Nice for Steve Nash to get that rebound and push it, but look, Suns big men really have played well. I mean, look at O'Neal and Stoudemire. He got 13 points and a bunch of rebounds between them, 4 block shots, so off to a nice start. Got off the Suns with a nice lead and points in the paint as well.
I think Shaq established the physicality of this game early, as now Boris Diaw, who is playing remarkably well, 6 points, 3 of 4 from the field.
Yeah, the big man. I give a lot of credit to Bill Cartwright. He's got the 4 and the 5s playing high-low basketball extremely well. Look at the shooting percentages for the Blazers.
Outside now is Rodriguez. Nash trying to track him down. Rodriguez not a great shooter. He's more of a distributor than a shooter. Fernandez is a guy that can shoot.
These offensive rebounds, though, killing the Suns early. Already the Blazers' 7th offensive board.
Here's Oden backing in. Oden takes it in, and Amari fouls him. And I tell you what, Scott, I have not seen Oden play in person. I've watched him on television, you have. I've watched him at Ohio State. This guy is going to be a pretty good basketball player.
Yeah, he really is. He's got to, work on his footwork a little bit down here on the block. But this is one thing he can do. Amari's playing that left shoulder turn, and then Greg Oden says, "Okay, you're playing hard on that left shoulder. Let me take it on the right shoulder and get it back to the middle." Got Amari confused. He had to foul him, and that's Amari's 2nd foul.
And he's got to come out. Shaquille O'Neal will come in. So Oden able to get Amari out with 10:09 to go here in the first half. Amari complaining about that call as Oden at the free throw line. Oden shooting 68%. He had a big game earlier this year, 22 points and 11 rebounds. That was kind of his coming out party, coming off of a game last night where wasn't quite as effective, but did have 8 rebounds. Played only 19 minutes and misses both free throws.
Yeah, I'm surprised. He's got a really nice stroke from the line, and I think that he'll be able to shoot the 15-foot shot at some point in time in his career, just because he's got a nice little release.
Here comes Roger Bell. Little shuffle cut. Grant Hill, no. Rebound Shaquille. Shaquille kicks it back out. They'll reload inside. Spin move on Oden, and a travel call on Shaquille O'Neal. Terry Porter doesn't believe it.
I'm not quite sure what Orlando Poole saw on that one, because there was an official right on the baseline. Didn't seem to think that he was. Let's see if that left foot stays down here as he makes that spin move. I think it's pretty close to staying down. Size 22, that's close enough.
It's hard to tell with that size foot. Here's Rodriguez now taking Nash inside. 9:38 to go in the first half. Suns up 23-19. Boy, is this Western Conference loaded, and now you're seeing the 2nd youngest team in the league, this Portland team, right now giving the Suns all they can handle. Rodriguez misses. Grant Hill comes down to the rebound. Hill has come in, and as usual, has impacted the game right away. Diaw Gets it to Nash. Double team on Nash, and that'll be kicked. They'll reset to 14 seconds on the shot clock. Brandon Roy is going to check back in for the Blazers, replacing Travis Outlaw.
Yeah, Coach McMillan knows he's got to get Roy back in his game. His team's really struggling right now, shooting basketball, only 8 of 27 from the field. Wants to get his all-star back in the game to try to steady his forces a little bit.
Well, as we said, this is a back-to-back for them, and they are 3-1 in the second game of back-to-backs. There's a cut by Grant Hill. And I mentioned Hill. He's come in here and has really contributed to this team instantly.
More movement without the basketball. Once you saw Stoudemire and a dunk, and that time is Grant Hill the beneficiary of a nice pass as the Suns pile on their 6th assist.
25-19 in favor of the Suns. Rodriguez brings it out to Channing Frye, who was a lottery pick of the New York Knicks. Then coming over in a trade, Brandon Roy can't get it. Shot clock expires. Shaquille O'Neal with a rebound. He has 10 rebounds already. Into Hill, and Grant Hill right now has been able to sneak into this game, and Portland doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, Nate McMillan's going to want to get a timeout. Sacramento Kings did that extremely well last night, getting back before Portland could set their defense. Slow to rotate transition.
And so Steve Nash, as only Steve can,
perfectly blocking their own man shots. Shaquille and Amari, give those two big fellows a lot of credit in the early part of this ball game.
They have gone inside and they have created the tension that they wanted. They've made it tough on Oden and earlier Prisbilla. And as an end result, the Suns with this lead. Fernandez brings it off to Aldridge, who's come back into the ball game, picked up by Diaw. Rodriguez enters it into Oden. Double team comes. Back to Rodriguez. Can't finish. Gets his own rebound. Then somehow a no-look pass to Brandon Roy.
Yeah, 4 assists a game means he does a nice job, a la Steve Nash, finding the open man. But right now, Suns, even though they're playing great defense on that initial, they got to get that ball on the first miss.
You see the Suns 3 of 5 in the second quarter. Nash goes baseline. Roy tracks in. He got a hand on it. Off it comes now to Rodriguez. The Spanish magician, tried to set up his fellow Spaniard, Fernandez, but it didn't work. That would have been spectacular. Hill, Oden may have gotten a piece of it. Hill hits the deck. Shaq's going to be fouled inside.
Well, that's fast break basketball. Grant Hill streaking down that left side like a wide receiver going long. This is a beautiful play right here. Grant Hill, because he thinks he gets the body contact. They don't call that, but Shaq quick to the basketball, and he goes back up, and he'll go to the line.
I tell you, Grant Hill uses that left hand so well. Tonight's Phoenix Suns basketball game presented to you by Casino Arizona. What are you waiting for? Shaq at the free throw line, shooting 59% from the free throw line. And you can see Prisbilla coming in for Oden. So Oden came in, and Scott, I was impressed with him. He had 4 points. He had 1 rebound, but his presence was felt inside.
Have done a much better job of getting offensive rebounding, getting points in the paint when he is in the basketball game. Since he's been back this 4-game stretch, the rebounding numbers or points in the paint all dramatically different.
Suns up by 6. 7:28 to go here in this first half. Blake back into the ball game. Here's Fernandez. Rudy Fernandez played on that Spanish team that was the silver medal winner in Beijing. You can see the Trailblazers, who are one of the best rebounding teams in the league, up by 2. Here's Roy from outside, and Roy, who at that point had struggled a little bit with his shot, gets 1 to go, and it's 27-23. Roy gets going. Look out.
Yeah, he can really fill it up. Real stat sheet stuffer. You don't want him to get hot and get the Blazers with some momentum going into the locker room, because they've done a really good job defensively.
Shaq picked up by Prisbilla, the former University of Minnesota standout. Nash goes inside and is fouled, and he knew he was going to take some punishment as he went into that left hand. Second team foul against the Blazers. Aldridge committing the foul.
Well, Steve Nash has been dishing. This time he says, let me go ahead and take it on to the rack and see if I can get something to go. And once he gets that foul call, as good a free throw shooter he is, he would almost put these in the books 2 points.
He's 90% start of the night now. Steve is the guy that's having to make the biggest adjustments, Scott, and really, it's sometimes feel they're not taking advantage of his abilities thus far as he tries to figure out the tempo, the rhythm, the chemistry on this team.
Oh, he's one of 2 guys in the NBA right now that are, the top 25 in field goal percentage and 3-point percentage and free throws percentage. They got to realize a way to get him some more cleaner looks at the basket.
29-23 up the 2 free throws. Matt Barnes reaches in on Brandon Roy. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Roy goes in, and Barnes got a hand on it, and they're going to call a foul on Matt Barnes. That was a late whistle by Danny Crawford. As Roy ducked inside, Matt thought he had pulled off the deflection, but they called him for the foul instead.
Matt's a little bit disappointed because the call came a little late by Danny Crawford, but I think it's the right call. I think he gets a little bit of a hip check on him right there, and then that left arm reaches out and grabs Roy's wrist.
Here comes Aldridge, who played at the University of Texas, first team all Big 12 there. That was a tough shot.
Good defense.
Yes, it was. Off it comes to Nash. Nash to Barnes. Oh, he missed the slam. There's Fernandez, and Fernandez went double dribble. Did you see that? Fernandez started up the court. He was going to pass the ball, and he brought his other hand into play, and I wondered if they were going to catch it, and Danny Crawford did. Watch this.
Yeah, the veteran official, Danny Crawford, got that one. But look at this one again. Nash throws it right up there where Barnes has got to just take it and bring it to the basket. And I just think Barnes' back is bothering him enough that it's affecting his elevation off the floor.
I agree with you. You could see it early in a shot from the corner, and that's slam attempt. He's a little tentative. And it comes now to Barnes. Barnes, well, I say tentative. He goes in, and Przybilla just rejected that one. The ninth-year man, Przybilla, is very effective. A shot blocker, rebounder, defensive presence inside.
Over one a game.
Amari Stoudemire going to check into the next break in the action. Roy dumps it in now to Aldridge. Aldridge face-up jumper. They call Aldridge a young Rasheed Wallace because he has that really high release point with his shot. Almost unblockable. That foul is going to go on Boris Diaw. 5:39 to go in this first half. And the Suns in a battle with this young Portland team.
Just under 6 minutes to play here in downtown Phoenix. The Suns lead the Portland Trail Blazers 29-23. A reminder, Saturday, December 6th, the Duel in the Desert returns to Fox Sports Arizona. Coverage begins at 5:30, starting with the Duel in the Desert pregame presented by Xbox. Then ASU battles it out for the Territorial Cup with U of A. Then we'll wrap it up with the Duel in the Desert postgame party presented by Xbox. For unmatched local coverage, highlights, and Territorial Cup presentation, Fox Sports Arizona is the only place for coverage you won't see anywhere else. And back here in Phoenix, another thing you won't see anywhere else is a matchup of Shaquille O'Neal and Greg Oden. The first time these two big men have ever met. Now, Shaq offered his thoughts on Oden yesterday right after practice, and Shaq calling himself the current emperor of big men, and Oden the next emperor of big men. He offered some advice to Oden, who's been feeling the pressure of a lot of critics lately, and said that Oden doesn't need to be Wilt Chamberlain or Bill Russell. He just needs to come in the league and be the first Greg Oden. He'll get plenty of time to figure that out. Oden only 21 years old. Shaq has been in the league 16 years, so he knows that there's plenty of time to grow for Oden. And when Shaq actually came in the league, guys, Oden was just 5.
Well, I tell you, Oden has been impressive. And what has happened in this game, Scott, is neither team is shooting well. Suns 38%, the Blazers 30%. But I think a lot of it is due to all of that physical presence inside by both teams.
A lot of beef down there in that painted area right now. I think the Suns have really won that battle of the plus 12 advantage, 20-8 points in the paint. But the second chance points keeping these Blazers in it, 10-6.
Blazers 1 of 4 from the free throw line until Aldridge hit that one. 29-24. Steve Nash thus far, 3 assists, 4 points of the ball game. Feeds it into Boris Diaw. There's Przybilla again. Backside help defense.
Really active big man for the Blazers when they're not blocking shot. They had 10 on Wednesday against the Bulls. They're getting steals. And there's already the 9th turnover. So too many for the Suns in this first half.
Suns averaging 16.6 a game. There's Blake missing Przybilla. Przybilla seems to be in the right place at the right time. As he comes up with that one. Brandon Roy going inside now, kicks it back out to Fernandez. Fernandez has had a 25-point game, and the first game and first meeting this year, he was very effective. He had 20 points against the Suns. Blake with a fall away, and out it comes to Hill, releasing quickly. And Grant Hill has come in and has really impacted this game.
The crowd absolutely loves to see the 36-year-old Duke forward sprint the floor and finish with the slam.
4 fast break points. That's 6 points for Grant Hill. He's 3 of 5. And Grant has come in, and this is what they want, energy. Game changers coming off the bench, and that's what Hill has done. Diaw checked that. Hill hits the floor.
No way.
Misses. And here's Nash coming their way. I think Hill's okay.
Grant Hill got that rebound from his backside.
He's kind of walking slowly. He may be shaking it off a little bit. Off it comes to Diao. Double team on boards. 10 seconds on the shot clock. He lost it. Another turnover. They're in double digits now in turnovers. Off it comes to Fernandez. And he can't get it. Fernandez in the early going 0 for 3.
I can't believe he's missed 2 wide open three-point shots. He shoots 46% from out there.
He is an excellent outside shooter. And that's going to be an offensive foul for Spilla. Knocked down on the play. Travis Outlaw will come back in. Fernandez is going to sit down. The foul will go inside on Shaquille O'Neal. That will be his first foul of the game as Outlaw will inbound for the Blazers. The Blazers, first team in NBA history to open the season, the first 5 games against teams who won at least 54 games in the previous season. Shows you what kind of a stretch they've had to endure early in the year. Here's Roy, and that's going to be another foul on Shaq. Shaq getting out on Brandon Roy. And that'll be foul number 2. So both he and Amari with 2 fouls. No one for Portland really in any foul trouble. Oden with 2, and then after that, there's only one other foul. That's on Aldridge. They've committed only 3 fouls in this first half. Portland has.
I'm not quite sure if Shaq got him on that one. That's the offensive version of the defensive flop. You scream real loud when you shoot the ball and try to draw attention to yourself, so the referee will call a foul.
And so Brandon Roy makes it 31-25. 24 years old, the Pac-10 Player of the Year, consensus first-team All-America for the Huskies. He had back-to-back games against Arizona State and Arizona where he scored 35 points. And you can see in this quarter, Blazers are not shooting well, but they're getting a lot more shots off.
Yeah.
That ball deflected out. Phoenix ball.
They get those shots, those extra shots of the offensive rebounds and then some of the turnovers for the Suns, limiting their amount of shots that they're getting.
Grant Hill will inbound. Brings it into Nash. Blake on him. 3.5 minutes to go here in this first half. Up it comes to Diao. Amari goes in against Brisbilla. Tried to dunk on him. Brisbilla may have gotten a piece of him, but he got a piece of the ball. Grant Hill again. And 2 shots inside will not go, and the Blazers have the ball.
Wow, Amari Stoudemire makes a strong move, but go Brisbilla. We talked about all those blocked shots.
That's 3 blocked shots now for Brisbilla. He has 5 rebounds. He hasn't scored in the game, but he's done everything else. Roy with a 3. And the team that's leading the league in three-point shooting tonight now is 2 of 11. As Diao will bring it in, 3 minutes to go in this first half.
It was funny watching the 2 littlest guys on the floor battle for that rebound on the weak side there.
And it comes to Shaq. Bounces off of Brisbilla. Almost loses his balance. He does. And Shaq hit it anyway and waves at the official, Danny Crawford, like, I'll hit it even though I am fouled. He has a double-double right now.
He's got a heck of a game going here in his first half.
Aldridge goes up. Tough shot. Shaq comes down with another rebound, his 13th of the game.
Who else?
Grant Hill pulls up. Baseline. And Grant Hill has come in and hit 4 of 7 for 8 points. Biggest lead of the game now for the Suns.
Yeah, I walked into the shoot-around this morning. Grant Hill, 15th year in the NBA, was the first guy on the floor out here working on his shot.
Brandon Roy goes into the left hand. That's what I mean. He is a complete player. Brandon Roy can do it all, and you can't take him out of his game. He's just a solid, workaholic-type guy who gets better every year.
Get out on, put pressure on him, he puts you in drive, and takes it to the basket.
Shaq backing in on Brisbilla. Look at Shaq. And tough break on the shot. He got by Joel Brisbilla, then couldn't finish. 35-28. And it comes now to Aldridge. Aldridge backing in. 6'11" guy. Shoots it up and in. Aldridge is a guy last year averaged 17.8. He was the most improved player candidate last year in the NBA.
As he added that post-up game. And everybody used to just play up on him. And then he had the ability to put the ball on the floor, and the post-up games made him different.
Nash with a long 3, and Fulton Holmes is proud to own the three-point zone, and they donate another $150 to Suns Charities. Nash sensing the moment again after having the lead cut to 5, and the first 3 of the night for the Suns as Aldridge not able to get it. Nash comes up with it, flopping at the other end as Brisbilla didn't get a call. Up it comes to Diao. He changes a shot, and Boris Diao now is 4 of 5 from the field.
Suns really coming alive at the end of this second quarter. And that's the kind of momentum that they need. They finished the game against the Lakers 0 for 10 in their last possessions at halftime, and they laid an egg in the second half.
There's Roy with that left hand again. Brandon Roy starting to heat up now with 13 points in the game. 8-point game. 43 seconds left in a very interesting first half. Nash with 4 assists in the game. Aldridge jumps out. They have a mismatch. Aldridge comes up with a steal. Diaw gets back. Aldridge 3-on-1 having trouble with the ball. Gets it to Roy, to Outlaw, and Diaw frantically trying to hold the fort until somebody could get there to help him.
Well, it's kind of a shame because nobody really did hustle back. Steve Nash turned the basketball over, didn't run back down the floor. Diaw was down there, put one all by himself against 3 Portland players.
I like the hustle. Diaw has played very well in this first half. 8 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. There's a reach-in foul on Blake as he fouls Nash. They had a foul to give, and we're going to have a timeout with 8 seconds left in the first half. Party right now.
Yeah, great place to have a bachelor's party. Bring it on down to the U.S. Airways Center, see the Suns in action. And I like to see them go out to Marley's and Chandler afterwards because there's going to be the celebrity waiters over there tomorrow night. Raise a lot of money for charity.
I'm going to be out there. I'm sure I can wait on you or somebody. But Toby Finch is one of our cameramen and one of our great people who we work with every week throughout the NBA. You know, the black patch, if you're wondering about that on the Blazers uniform, it's a memory of Kevin Duckworth. And you played against Kevin in the '92 finals, the Bulls defeating the Blazers. In fact, Terry Porter says Scott Williams has that ring I was supposed to have.
Yeah, those were some rugged guys. Kevin Duckworth, 7-footer that played like a 7-footer like these 2 big guys out here today. They also had a guy named Buck Williams. They called him Duck and Buck. And I think I still got some bruises from those 2.
And there's a quick entry pass to Shaq. Is that basket going to count? They're going to check to see if it did count, if he was fouled before the shot. The discussion going on, and we still don't know. All right, guys. It counts. They did count it. Took a while, didn't it?
Yeah, take a look at this one again. It's just a direct pass. Shaquille O'Neal does a good job sealing Prisbilla down there, smacks him upside the head in the process, and gives himself an easy 2 points.
They're going to count it, aren't they? I don't see it on the scoreboard yet.
The crowd's not reacting to it as if they counted this.
Well, it's not on the scoreboard yet.
Oh, they said 2 shots.
I'll be darned. They did not count it. I thought Danny Crawford said count it. And they elected instead to send Shaq to the free throw line. They actually called a foul on the pass. We're going to have a 20-second timeout now by Portland with these 8 seconds left to go. And this timeout is brought to you by Dial for Men Body Wash. Maintenance for your man suit. Giving some background on Kevin Duckworth. He was, what, 7 foot, weighed 300 and what?
300 and whatever he had for dinner that night, I think was a couple pizzas and maybe a few cheeseburgers, chicken wings, but a big man. But a big heart. Yeah. One thing I didn't realize when I was battling against him in that NBA Finals was what a nice guy he was. True gentleman and an ambassador for this Portland Trail Blazers team after his playing days.
Yep. A gentle giant, I guess is the way you put it. Now, Buck Williams was not a gentle giant. He'd take your head off.
Well, they both take your head out on the court. We were trying to win a championship. I think I ended up in the front row a couple of times battling for boards with those 2 underneath.
So Shaq will get another free throw, and Alvin Gentry is conferring with the officials, trying to figure out why they didn't give Shaq that basket. Instead, he missed the first free throw. Here's the second one, and he got 1 of 2. 41-34. Last trip now of this first half. Brandon Roy pull up for a 2, got it.
Wow.
Made that look easy, didn't he?
Brandon Roy has done that in 5 previous end-of-quarter or end-of-game situations. He's hit a shot with less than 2 seconds to play.
And 2 of them are game winners here in this early part of the season. And there's a long pass to Hill. The shot launched. Tough shot at best. We come to the halfway point. Suns outscore the Blazers 20-19 in this second quarter. So coming up, it's a halftime show with Tom Leander and Tom Chambers out of the Bud Light Paseo. They'll have first half highlights and analysis. Stay tuned right here on Fox Sports Arizona. Suns